Every year, BizTimes Media recognizes an extraordinary female business leader for her career achievements and also for her contributions to our community. Previous recipients of the BizTimes Woman Executive of the Year have included Cynthia LeConte, Gail Leone, Maria Monreal Cameron, Nan Gardetto, Dr. Eve Hall, Paula Pennebaker, Wendy Bauman, Julie Kaufman, Mary Lou Young, Patty Kodoran, and Kathy Kushgarian. This year, we add Dr. Christine Pharr to our list of honorees. Since the moment Mount Mary University president, Dr. Christine Pharr, arrived on campus in 2018, she was a force for change and an outspoken community advocate for transformative education for women, particularly those underserved in our community. Under Christine's leadership, Mount Mary ranked #1 in the Midwest in U.S. News and World Report's rankings of top-performing schools for social mobility in 2022. Mount Mary's diverse student population, of which 63% of its undergraduate student body identify as a person of color, has been disproportionately affected by COVID, and Pharr's Presidential Emergency Fund awarded more than $60,000 to 46 students to offset financial challenges. During her tenure at Mount Mary, Dr. Pharr led numerous renovation projects on campus, including the recent development of a new intergenerational living facility, Trinity Woods, a home for School Sisters of Notre Dame, seniors from the community, and student single mothers and their children. Another funding source she founded was the Madonna Fund, which has raised $1.2 million to support single mothers studying at Mount Mary. A strong community supporter, Pharr also served as co-chair of the Higher Educational Regional Alliance, vice chair of the Wisconsin Association of Independent Colleges and Universities, a member of Wisconsin Downtown Rotary, Tempo, and Wisconsin Women, Inc. Christine is married to Stephen and has 2 daughters, Carolyn and Melissa. She retired from Mount Mary University just 2 months ago. Please help me welcome and congratulate Dr. Christine Pharr.
Good morning. It's wonderful to be back in Milwaukee. We moved to Colorado immediately after retirement, and it's just great to see so many strong, amazing women and good friends in the audience. I'm especially humbled and grateful for this honor, and I want to thank the BizTimes, especially Dan and Ashley, who interviewed me, who had a part in supporting this decision. Believe it or not, I learned of this honor on my very last day of work at Mount Mary. And I guess you'd say it was a wonderful send-off, but in fact, I had to laugh when I was notified that I was to give a speech because I thought that the last time people were going to have to listen to me talk was at my retirement party. But here we are. I was asked today to specifically address what aspects of my leadership have allowed me to be successful and the role of inclusivity and culture in that success. And I want to do that, but before that, I want to make an important point. While I am receiving this award, no leader is successful without the contributions of so many others in conceiving, refining, defining, and contributing to ideas, and then working to bring them to fruition. Thus, I accept this award on behalf of the many people at Mount Mary University and in the Milwaukee community who supported me during my time as the Mount Mary president. Now, I think I'm probably like many women leaders, especially some of those we just heard. I've spent more time during my career thinking about what I could have done better than perhaps what has made me successful. And you are all smart and experienced women, and we've heard some wonderful things this morning from strong women about leadership. And you've read the books about it. There are many ways to lead, and I certainly have no monopoly on success. But I can share a few of my ponderings about what actually worked for me. And in a nutshell, I think it's a combination of doing something that you are truly passionate about, and then understanding your strengths, as well as the challenges that some of those strengths might bring. I have held a passion related to educating the underserved, particularly women. And that passion led me originally to teach and eventually to lead for the last 14 years in women's universities. Passion is really critical because it keeps you going even when things are difficult. It makes you think creatively about how to solve problems that seem unsolvable. And when you have passion, you can't quit thinking about what it is that you want to accomplish. No amount of money can make you work as hard as passion can. So for me, a passion for education has been foundational. Now, what about strengths? And you're going to laugh when I tell you this, but I've done the Gallup's, the Clifton Strengths Finder, and many of the personality tests. And looking back, perhaps the most enlightening one was early in my career, learning that my top 2 Gallup strengths were, you guessed it, achiever and communicator. I learned how, more than anything, these 2 strengths have fashioned my leadership style. But what took more time to understand were the benefits as well as the challenges that go along with these strengths. You see, being an achiever is both a blessing and a curse. Each day, you must achieve. It doesn't matter if you solved world hunger the day before. Today's a new day, and you must achieve again. At this point, you should start to have some empathy for my husband over here now that I'm retired, right? Achievers are typically incredibly driven individuals, and there are certainly some significant upsides to this strength. But you must remember that most people like to rest after achieving, even if you don't. All this being said, being an achiever wasn't all bad when trying to lead during an international pandemic, a time of great social unrest, the Great Resignation, and building a $45 million intergenerational living facility. Because there is great satisfaction for achievers in problem solving and building solutions. Now, as a communicator, my second strength, you like to express yourself, and you like others to as well. You typically ask a lot of questions, and you expect answers. Now, people who ask a lot of questions can be rather irritating at times. But asking questions can uncover problems before they get large, and they may bring enlightenment to things that nobody else has thought about. And they also tend to keep goals in mind. I've learned some tactics to go along with all of the questions. One of which is if you write late night email questions, put them on delayed send. Most people don't appreciate late night questions from the boss. Even if you say you don't expect an answer, they think they must. But if questions are combined with praise for a job well done or good progress, then achievement is usually the outcome. So what's the secret sauce of being an achiever and a communicator that helped me be successful? I believe it's called accountability. We hear a lot today, and it's very important, about empowerment and trust. And please never doubt that these are important. But accountability is critical to success. As an achiever and a communicator, I led with an intent to accomplish something that I was very passionate about. And these strengths involve setting goals and timelines and asking questions and holding everyone, including myself, accountable. But what if your gifts are not achiever and communicator? It doesn't matter. What you must do is leverage your strengths to meet your goals and then surround yourself with others who have different strengths to help you. See, some people are arrangers who can organize a project incredibly proficiently, and they're invaluable. And others may be, like Gretchen, strategic and be able to see a big picture issue that you miss that might improve a project for the long-term good of an organization. So it's not only my achiever and my communicator status that helped me be successful. It's an understanding of my colleagues' strengths that creates a good team that complemented my strengths. Thus, it's imperative to surround yourself with people whose strengths complement yours, even if at times it might drive you all crazy. See, I loved that my vice presidents, the faculty, and the staff all brought wonderful and different strengths to our organization, and yet at times it takes extreme patience to get all those strengths to work together. But that's when the magic happens, when all gifts are maximized and appreciated to create the best possible outcome. So my advice is to identify what you are truly passionate about, gain an understanding of your strengths and the challenges that accompany them, surround yourself with people of different strengths, and try to maximize what everybody brings to the table. Now, a caveat. Even if you do all of this, please know that everyone will not agree with or like your decisions. In the last 2 years during the pandemic, COVID, I would sometimes get emails from students or employees on the same day. One saying that I was not taking the pandemic seriously enough and keeping everyone safe, and another one saying that I was over the top on safety precautions. In the end, you do your best. You over-communicate your decision and its rationale, and you pray for understanding. It usually works. The second topic I'd like to address is the role of inclusivity and culture in an organization. I made a conscious decision to spend the majority of my career in institutions that serve primarily under-resourced students because it allowed me to combine my career and my vocation. So many in this country do not have access to educational opportunities for a variety of reasons: poverty, race, gender, or simply complicated life circumstances. Mount Mary offered me an opportunity to serve many of these students. And in addition, I then learned that single mothers were increasingly attending college, but graduating at half the rate of women without children because of simple life obstacles: childcare, transportation, finances, things like that. So in order to be inclusive, I think you have to build a culture that truly understands the obstacles these students face and be willing to make the effort and provide the resources that will address these obstacles. In accordance with the mission of the School Sisters of Notre Dame, Mount Mary faculty and staff are dedicated to understanding student needs and providing wraparound services that support them financially, academically, and personally. These resources are critically important, but perhaps what is most important for student success is a sense of belonging, the feeling that you are welcome and a member of a community. This is inclusivity, and of course it applies to employees as well as students. Trinity Woods, our new intergenerational living facility for School Sisters of Notre Dame seniors, single mothers, and their children, is such an example. With affordable housing, food, childcare, and abundance of caring grandmas in those school sisters, all living together, these women have found not just an education, but a home. One of my greatest joys while working at Mount Mary was walking down the halls past the dining room and the classrooms, the lounges, and seeing incredibly diverse students working, studying, and recreating together. I know that many in the city of Milwaukee strive to achieve this kind of culture, and I think it's fair to say that Mount Mary is fast becoming what Milwaukee strives to be. I was blessed to have spent my years in Milwaukee working with so many people at the university and in the Milwaukee community who shared my passion to make a difference in students' lives. People who know me well know that I want my epitaph to read, "She gave a lot, she asked a lot." So my parting words to you are, find your passion, your strengths, and the right colleagues. Create a culture of belonging. Make decisions and be brave, and then you will find your success. Thank you again for this most wonderful honor.